coach. So what prompted me to do today's video is the chat that I had with one of our client doctors who has just started his practice. I think he's in practice for plus minus 3 months today. So he ringed me and he had few challenges that he wanted me to clear around the tax. So number one, what he asked about was, okay, Sanelisiwe, now that I'm trading, should I go on and register a company, or is it okay that I trade as a sole proprietor? And looking at the fact that he has multiple streams of income. So the question is, what tax benefits are there if you open a company with CICP? One could argue that it's not much difference that it makes, but I would say even if it's too little, it's worthwhile at times, because you find that you can pay less tax if you register a company, especially if ever you structure it in such a way that it falls under a small business, because small business tax tables, they start from 0 to 28%. So it will be zero tax if ever you made a profit of less than 79,000. then you would not pay tax in 2020 tax financial year. So that's one benefit. And now if you then registered as a company, you go and take a salary, you'll only pay tax, which is PAYE, only on your salary. The question is, okay, if you remain as a sole proprietor, what tax benefits are there? The tax benefit will only be the expenses that you've incurred in running the business. In terms of tax, will fall on the individual tax tables, which goes from 18% to 41%. And the other question that our client asked was, okay, now I have employees, when do I register for PAYE, UIF, you know? So the SARS law says if you employ someone and that particular person works more than 24 hours, then you must register for UIF. And obviously if you don't pay commission, they don't earn commission from you, then they must be registered. As for PAYE, there are tax tables that SARS will use. Currently in 2020, if you earn just above 7,000, the tax tables, I think the tax starts is around 10 Rand or so. So that's when the PAYE will kick in. Also, as a practitioner owner, if you take a salary, because you are also an employee in the business, because remember, if you go and open a company with CICP, then you must also put yourself on the payroll. It makes it easier for you. So you become an employee, then you can also, you must be registered for PAYE and UIF. The other question that he asked me was, okay, now it's been 3 months, I've heard about VAT, when do I register for VAT? And he was so very concerned that he doesn't want to fall off the way with SARS. With VAT, you must make sure that you don't rush for it, because it's very administrative. And it's only compulsory to register for VAT once you make $1 million and above. So I would say that if you're a health practitioner out there running a practice and you have not reached $1 million, just wait and don't register, simply because it brings a lot of administration burden, and also it can have effect on your cash flow, because VAT is charged on invoice base. You register VAT on invoice base. You may have invoiced your patients, however the medical aid has not yet paid, but SARS on the other hand, they want you to pay the VAT. So with VAT, however, that's that with VAT. However, you can still register if you are making 50,000 per annum. That's a voluntary registration. So that would be basically if you are making about plus minus 4.8 a month, you can register. And then the other question that popped in was, okay, I'm registered for all these taxes, I have PAYE, VAT, and so forth. What is my obligation monthly? What am I supposed to do? Every month when you are registered or running a business, make sure that you find someone who does what we call monthly bookkeeping, where they will gather all your financial information, your bank statement, and account for that. and pay your PAYE. Make sure that they assist you to calculate how much PAYE, UIF, and skills development levy that needs to be submitted and paid to SARS, as well as your VAT. And the last question, maybe that I'll say it's an advice. The question is, okay, what do I need to do to make sure that I don't fall on the radar? What challenges that should or mistakes I should avoid as a health practitioner running a business? So I would say that as much as you are a doctor to your patients, you also need to be a doctor in your practice, because if you don't do that, you'll find yourself in a corner, having owing SARS maybe huge amount. And we've had such instances where over the 5 years we've been servicing doctors, you find that someone had a practitioner or had administrator, whoever was helping the person, and returns were not done. And maybe returns were not done, but there are things that you could have sat down and tried to understand the point where they are coming from and avoided mistakes. And also you find that there's a debt that could be avoided if ever returns were submitted on time. So I would say that as a health practitioner running a practice, make sure that you look and hold accountable whoever is helping you with your monthly bookkeeping or your taxes. And also, as a sole proprietor, there's what we call provisional tax, which is prepayments, because I'm sure maybe one would be wondering, okay, I don't want to open a company, I'm fine running as a sole prop, or even you're not even running as a sole prop, maybe you have locums, like different streams of income. Make sure that you pay your provisional tax. What is provisional tax? Provisional tax in a nutshell is a prepayment that happens every 6 months. Like for instance, currently we are in 2020-2021 tax year, which started in March this year and it ends next year in February 2021. So the current provisional tax ran from March until August, which has passed. The next one, prepayment that needs to be done, is in February. How do you do your prepayment? Again, you need someone to sit down with you to compile all your income streams and your expenses, look at different expenses that you could reduce your tax with. We call them tax benefits, and then they do the calculation and submit. So now when you submit your return during the filing season as a sole prop, like right now we are on filing season, you will then just have to submit your return. If ever you have a tax debt, it's already prepaid, or it's just a matter of topping it up. So that's the advice I would give to my health professionals. And if you need more information, we are here, we can assist. For over 5 years, we have serviced health professionals. Please contact us on 067-139-1707, and you can email us on info@funani.co.za. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel for more tax tips and advice. Thank you.